Hi guys, welcome to Making Joyful Journals. I'm Anna G. Today I've got a little bit of a Ollie's haul as well as a couple things that I found at my local Dollar Tree. So let's get started. The first item is not really craft related. Well, it's a baking related item. And these are some non-stick steel loaf pans. And these are by Martha Stewart. Every Day by Martha Stewart. And I found a couple of them. And I don't know what the price is normally at the store, but I'm sure that they're not normally $2.99. So I got a couple of them, and they're a good weight. They are heavy. They are some really heavy uh, steel loaf pans, and these are to replace some that we've had for many, many years, and they were starting to rust. So this is our replacement set, and it's such a wonderful find. I know that I saw some cookie sheets as well, cookie sheet pans, as well as I want to say a 13 by 9 pan, and then I also saw 9-inch square pans, and they were all this steel color. I did see a couple of pans of these type of loaf pans, but they were white enamel, and they were also listed as non-stick, but they were, I want to say they were coated with enamel, like white enamel. So you'll want to check those out if you like to bake and you need to update all of your baking apparatus, all your tools. This is a good place to check out. I was stuck in the store just looking at all of the different types of kitchen gear, kitchen gadgets that they had. They just had so much out there, but these were the only two that was on my list that I need to make sure if I found them to pick them up. Now Ollie's has a weekly sales paper, a weekly ad that you can go online and check out what their sales are. And I also had gotten a coupon in the mail for 10% off. And it's because I'm one of them. You sign up for like their email sign up, and they give you a little card. You become like part of the Ollie's family or whatever their rewards program is. And so I had gotten a 10% off coupon, and so I used it towards these. And then let me show you what else I found. Now these are from American Craft, and it's just a couple of scissors. They were $1.99, but these looked really sharp. I haven't even opened them yet, but these look really sharp. They had different colors. They had pink, they had this green color, which green is one of my favorite colors, and I want to say like a bluish or teal color. Maybe it was blue and teal. And these are like a light teal with a darker teal here in the inside part. And these were 5.5 inch, and I haven't tried these, but just feeling how they open and close, they seem really sharp. And I'm going to use these more for like fussy cutting or kiss cuts. And I don't, it's odd because I'm left-handed, but I can cut really well with my right hand. I guess because I've always had to grow up in school, like in elementary school, using right-handed scissors. Like everybody was right-handed, so, and it was really rare to find a pair of left-handed scissors, so I just naturally learned how to cut with my right hand. But I know now scissors are pretty much universal, like you can usually cut with either hand. And so I'm looking forward to using these. So these were $1.99, and they had like a whole case full. The case was completely full when I got to the store today to look at all of their crafting stuff. So here is a Recollections sticker book, and I didn't even look at the book itself. I just saw the $1, and I saw the 680 pieces, and I saw how thick the book was, and I picked up 2 of them because it was a brand new case. In fact, the lady was just putting the stickers on them, and so when she was turned around and she was looking at other things that she was tagging up, I automatically just picked up 2 of them and took off. I have had an unusual experience with Ollie's personnel. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not. So I thought, I'm not going to take any chances. I saw them, and then later on I saw her going to another area where they actually have all of the other crafting stuff, and she was laying out these as well as, I want to say it was like 12 by 12 paper, 1 by 1 sheets, like the single sheets, and those were 25 cents each. And I looked at some of them and they were one-sided, so I'm thinking 25 cents for one piece of paper, or equivalent to 4 for $1, 4 pieces of paper for $1, or a whole paper pad for $1.99. It's like, I'm gonna look for paper pads, and they did have a lot of paper pads. But if you checked out my last haul, I got a lot of paper, and I'm good on paper, so I really didn't buy any new paper pads per se. Well, you'll have to just stick around and see what else I did get from there. But these were 680 pieces. They're from Recollections stickers. It doesn't really say what kind of stickers they are, but there's the barcode, and there's 24 pages. I'll just flip through them quickly here so you can see them. But I think they're really nice. They have, some of them have, at least I thought I saw some. They had gold foiling. Oh yeah, this one. Here, let's take a look right here. Yeah. I'm guessing it's garden themed because there's a lot of flowers. Like every page has flowers on it. And yeah, see, this one has some gold foiling on it. This one too has a little bit of gold embellishment. Let's see. Yeah, I like this one a lot. And this one's got nice plant mom, oh so lovely, flower love, pretty as a daisy, sunshine. But this one, I really like this one right here. This is probably my favorite of all of them. Bloom where you are planted. And then I think the top page, I think that was the last, yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, but see, even this one's got a little bit of foil accenting. Yeah, so I got one for my sister. Now I said I wasn't going to get any paper, but then I saw this. AC, can you see it? AC cardstock, 12 by 12, 60 sheets, and it's 216 GSM. So this is some heavyweight paper, and look, the price, you cannot beat it. Yeah. White is one of those colors, it's like you can use it anywhere. Now, what I was thinking, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but it has this texture on it, kind of like a woven paper texture to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then on the back side, it's smoother. And I'm going to be using this in my printer. I know that my printer doesn't take 12 by 12 sheets of paper, so I'm going to cut it down to 8.5 by 11 and use it like I would regular cardstock paper for printing out my embellishments, or I guess anything that I find like online that I really would like to see on something like this. Or I may coffee dye some of this first before I put it in the printer, and we'll hope that it doesn't get stuck. Yeah, so that was my whole purpose for getting this solid white color, and I thought it was a good deal. This is his best cardstock for cutting, so he's probably good for also die cutting maybe. So yeah, and the texture is really nice. It's a really fine paper, and 60 sheets. You can't beat that for $1, and it feels heavy. And while I was out, I got a couple things at Dollar Tree, and I wasn't really looking for craft supplies, but when you're at the store, you try to find the stuff that you tend to go towards, like the aisles that you tend to look through, and usually, you see the same stuff over and over again. But here's a couple things I found. This is one of them, and I had seen someone hauling these, and my sister had gone to the store, and she told me, oh yeah, I saw those, and I thought they were just permanent markers. I guess she just saw the prime art and the P in her mind. She saw the P and the T. Is like, oh, these are permanent markers, and they say Superior Art Supplies, and it says premium on there. And so I was looking at it. I was thinking these would be more like highlighters, but then my sister was like, oh, let me see these again, and she said, oh, these are fabric markers. I'm going, fabric markers, what? And they say pastel colors. I guess I wasn't paying attention at all to this. So yeah, here's what it looks like. And these were from Dollar Tree. And they say, let me see what it says here. Ningbo Press Prime Art marker. Prime Art is a trademark of dye. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, these were from Dollar Tree. It says, okay, it says directions. Use on fabric. Recap the marker tightly after use. Ink dries within 24 hours or immediately with a hot iron. Colors will not wash out. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So if you need fabric markers, I know you can't buy fabric markers for $1.25, and there's 5 of them in here, so you're more or less paying 25 cents a marker. That's an awesome deal. And they had not only these 5 colors, but they also had the bright colors also. They were the primary colors. But I thought, oh, I'm more interested in these pastel colors. I was thinking I was going to use them for like Bible highlighting, but now I'm going to have to test that and see if that's even going to work. So I pulled out my Bible, and here are my results of testing those different markers, these fabric markers. On the right side, we have the thin. There's 2 styles. There's like a broad tip, and then there's a thin tip. So there's an example of both of them, and I'm going to flip the page over so you can see what it came out as. Now this is the flip side. You can see the little squirrely lines that I made, swirly lines, where it says Acts and Amos and Colossians on the left side. Those, you don't really see a lot of ghosting, but of the broad tip, you can see more ghosting. So it's give and take. Now, this was something that I forgot to include in the original part of the Dollar Tree haul. These were all sewing notions. So it's not necessarily paper crafting, but these are things that you might be interested in as well. So they had tailor's chalk, they had sewing machine needles, and there's 2 sets in here. There's a regular set, and then there's also the jeans or denim needles, and those are the regular needles there at the bottom. Awesome find for $1.25. What do you guys think? Because I know I've paid at least $3 for just a set of 5 at like a Walmart. Now here's a seam ripper. It's just one seam ripper, but if you're anything like me, I've lost my seam ripper, and then it takes me like half an hour just to find it. And then this other set of needle threaders. This is an awesome find as well, because I usually have just the small silver one that comes with sewing kits, but this was an awesome find because you get 3 of them for $1.25. So these are some additional things that you can find at your local Dollar Tree. So keep your eyes out for those. And then we're going to go ahead and head back into the regular part of the video that I have. Keep on watching, guys. Thanks. Now, this last item that I found, I was just looking at this stuff. I was looking at bubble mailers, you know, those envelopes that you use, and these were right next to it. I'm going, what is this? It's like, they sell this at Dollar Tree? And so it's Carnival, and it's from Color Book, and it's solid dyed core cardstock, 180 sheets, 10 different colors, and there's 18 of each color. So I thought, oh, that's awesome. And of course, green is my favorite color, and that got my attention like right away. And this is from American Crafts also. So did Dollar Tree jump in or jump on that bandwagon of getting American Crafts items too? I'm wondering, maybe they did. So, and here is all the colors. And what's the size of these? They say that they're 6.5 by 4.5. So these would make really nice borders or backgrounds for 4x6 photos. Yeah, carnival colors. And they're 160 GSM. And solid core, so they're not, if you cut them with a die cut machine, you won't get the white edges that you sometimes get when the paper is only one-sided, or the color's only on one side, or the core is white. And I'm learning more as I watch other YouTubers. I'm learning more and more about the value of different kinds of paper. It's like, oh, this is nice. 180 sheets for $1.25, guys. Now they had another set, and I think it was only like half the size. So maybe it was 190 sheets or 100 sheets, maybe it was, and it was a little bit bigger. It was like maybe 5.5 by 8.5, or 5.5 by 7.5, and it was, I want to say they were only the primary colors again, like just the basic rainbow colors. So like this one has like a green and a light green, and this one looks like it has a couple of different red and pink, red and purple, and then kind of gold color. Yeah, the other one, I want to say it was probably only 100 sheets, something like that, because it was not this thick, and it was a 5.5 by 7.5, I want to say. I didn't take any pictures. I picked it up, I held it in my hand, and the other thing is that this one's completely sealed, covered in plastic. The other one was like a typical paper pad. You could open it completely and look at each page, and I want to say they were not that thick. Each sheet was not that thick. So I didn't pick it up because, I don't need any more paper. In fact, I'm going to start a series on just scraps. I've got a couple of piles, and if you like junk journaling, then you'll want to check in the next couple of days, because I'm going to be making a video showing what to do when you don't have ollies in your area and you're just recycling. So I'm going to set up some guidelines. They're not going to be hard and fast rules, because junk journaling, what I love about it is that there's no junk journal police. There are no hard and fast rules that if you do this, therefore it's not junk journal. Junk journal is a very broad term, and I'm just going to set up for myself, and these are going to be guidelines for myself, because um, I've got a couple of piles that I'm at the point where I'm cleaning around the piles, and it's like, okay, nah, I have to use this stuff, or I'm going to have to put it in the recycling bin. And so it's all stuff that could be put in the recycling bin, but junk journalists, we save everything, and we don't want to put anything in the recycling bin if we can use it for something else. And it's going to be my form of therapy, art therapy, in creating a junk journal out of just the junk stuff, things that that probably would have ended up in the trash. Um, a lot of covers or boxes of food, not like McDonald's wrappers that have like mustard still on them. I'm talking about um, cracker boxes where there was a sealed bag inside of the box, and so the box is perfectly clean, has never really touched any food whatsoever. The only thing that was keeping it closed was the glue that it was from the store, and or from the manufacturer. So that kind of stuff. And I wanted to try, and I don't think I've actually ever made one completely out of just junk, like a true junk journal, where it's things that have been recycled, things that have been thrifted, things that were not purchased new. Nothing new. I'm going to try and make it out of nothing new. I think the only new things that will be included in the junk journal, in my junk journal, will be the glue. And if I sew things, the thread will be new thread, stuff like that. Scissors, of course, those are probably the main tools, and double-sided tape, things like that. So if that's something that interests you, make sure that you subscribe and keep an eye out for a video in the next couple of days that will be going through my take on creating a junk journal, more of like taking trash and turning it into something classy. If you could say trash is classy, it's going to be some classy trash. So keep in tune, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already jumped on my bandwagon. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. If you're in the Ollie's in your area, don't forget to go back and see what they've got. I saw a lot of stuff, but I did not pick it up because I don't want to be guilty of buying and not using. So but what I'll try to do is the next time I go to Ollie's, if I can, I'll try to take some pictures or take some video of it, so you can see what it's like to be inside of Ollie's if you haven't been inside of Ollie's. But I have to tell you, today, it's August right now, and the Ollie's, it's a good thing I went in the morning, early in the morning, as soon as they opened, because their air conditioning was not working, and it was hot. It was hot outside already, and it probably had been hot all night long the night before, so it was hot in there. So as you can imagine, there were a lot of short tempers, or shorter than normal tempers, at the store, and we were all standing in line, and everyone's face was wet, but they had this stuff that they wanted to buy. Like, for example, for me, it was this was like my buy, and this is not even a crafting item, but this was an awesome buy. Martha Stewart's stuff is good stuff. I don't know if you've ever used, she even had gotten into paint, like household paint, and into landscaping, like garden tools, and there are some tools that I have been using for 15, 20 years. I mean, the stuff that she puts her name on is good quality stuff. So this was my find of the, I guess, my unicorn of the trip for Ollie's. So, and then I want to say this is probably the one that would be, I would consider my unicorn find, unicorn sighting at Dollar Tree, because I hadn't seen anybody haul this, and then to see that it's from American Crafts, and it's like, oh wow, that's wow, surprising. So check out your local Dollar Trees, check out your Ollies if you have one in your area, and until I see you next time, take care. God bless. Bye for now.